Hello everyone, Linda Israel here, and I thought I would share with you how I use the laser cut chipboard pieces that come in my creative kits or the ones that are standalone in my shop. Currently I have the Musical Botanica laser chipboard pieces that come in the Musical Botanica set or kit. And what I like to do is kind of look at them and decide how I want to use them. And I know that with the brown, if I want them to be another color, I need to paint them. And I found that it is best if I paint them with a white coat first and then come back in and I can paint them with the top coat of another color or even Tattered Angels Glimmer Mist. So first what I'm going to do is just put on a pair of gloves because I don't want to get my hands all painty. And I've got some craft paint. This is just acrylic white craft paint by Anita's. I've got a little palette over here, and I will squirt a little bit out on my palette. I have a scrap of some film that we use at our shop, and I thought, well, it might be a good way for me to keep from getting my work surface dirty, and because it's a plasticky type material, it won't stick too bad. So I'm just going to pick up the first one that I think I want to paint. Let's see, wait, I don't want to do a project for you today as well as just paint some of these. So I'm just going to pick up one, and I've got a little simple paintbrush, and I will just paint the top of these. I will kind of go around the edge a little bit and paint these. And then I'll set them aside to dry, and they will probably need more than one coat. So there's one, and I know I want to use this one, so I'm going to go ahead and look at it and decide, okay, which way I want to do it. And I'm just going to come in again and just paint it lightly. I'm going to go ahead and just paint a bunch of these, and then we'll move forward and I'll show you how I do the next layer. Okay, I've kind of given at least one coat of paint to all of these. I know there's a couple that I want to do a project with today. So what I'll do is kind of push these aside and only pick up the one that I want to use today. I may leave them in front of me for just a moment, but I know that I want to use this little guitar shape. And I know I want to use one of these treble clefs. And I'm trying to decide if I want to use one of these other pieces. I think we'll use this circle one and make a little embellishment. And I'm just going to take the rest of these and put them aside. They'll be drying. They'll be available for me to use on my other pages. But I just want to work on one concept at the moment. Tip for y'all, if you're trying to figure out a way to kind of store things while they dry, I like to use these inexpensive cookie sheets that you can get at the Dollar Tree, $1.25. Sometimes I'll put a piece of parchment paper or waxed paper in the bottom of it if I'm worried about it sticking, and then I can just set it aside. I happen to have behind me, you can probably see these little cubby holes, and so I can just slide one of these in one of those little holes. All right, so now I've got these little pieces here, and I know that I want to make this one a blue color. I got out some Tattered Angels from the Musical Botanica Tattered Angels kit. This one's called Dynamics. It's a pretty shade of blue. So what I'm going to do first is I think I'm going to get my spray box out, and I'll lay this in my little box. Let me get a blank sheet. And I use this box just to help me keep from spraying all over my desktop, and the overspray kind of keeps a little bit better contained. So I'm going to put it kind of in that bottom corner, and you shake it up really well so there's not any mica in the bottom. And then I'm going to spray this. And I'm kind of going beyond, and we'll let that set for a moment. And I think what I want to do is I've got this treble clef, and I'm going to put it on this side, kind of in the corner. I'm going to let that dry for a moment, and let me pick up, I've got this one's a green, it's called Allegro. It's kind of a mint green. Let's see how this looks. And if we don't like it, I can always paint over it. Now, it's not going to be super intense, but it will give us some slight color. So I'm going to set these aside to dry for a moment. And then on this one, I've got here some metallic gold and metallic silver. I don't know which one I want to use. I even have this dark blue. And I think what I might do is coat it with the dark blue first. This is an old paint, so I know that it's not super dark. It's kind of a medium blue. And I know it's a little bit runny. Oh yeah, that's definitely runny. So I'm just going to pick up some of that color. I think I added some water to it because it was dried out. I'm going to let that dry for a moment. I may even take my heat tool and hit it with that. I'll put my paintbrush in some water. By the way, if you ever have a paintbrush that is kind of dried up, wash it as best you can with water and get the paint out. If you can't get it all out, I don't know if you can see how oily my hand is, get some olive oil and just really work it into those bristles and let it set for a little while. And this is perfect for that olive oil that's in your cabinet that's out of date and probably smells bad. Take it to your craft room and use it to revive your paintbrushes. This is almost ready, so I'm going to leave that aside and clean off my hands and get my heat tool. I think I'm going to do another coat of blue. I may go find another blue. Well, I've got this shade of blue, and it's a better, newer paint. So I'm going to try adding that on here just to kind of get that coated. I think that actually looks better, so we're going to dry that. That's looking pretty good. I'm going to come over here and grab the treble clef and the guitar. And of course, it's not perfect, but it might be something that I can use later on in my journal. I may tear this piece out. I don't know. I always like to create these with the who knows what I'll use them for. I think I want a little bit more green on this, so I'm going to take a paintbrush and open the top. So I do recommend that you either hang on to this or pour it into a paint palette so that you don't accidentally spill it, because I have been known to spill Tattered Angels everywhere. And I'm just going to kind of touch it on top of this chipboard piece, adding a little bit more color. And I think for this one, I think I want to add a little bit of let's add some silver to it. So I'm thinking maybe adding a little silver on the bars. Let's zoom in so you can see this a little better. Okay, so I'm just going to take my paintbrush and just kind of go right in here and add a little silver. It takes lots of concentration, you know. I may put a little around the edge. I think that looks pretty good. Just adding a little bit of silver on that outside edge. Let that dry. Clean my brush off. Let's see if we can dry the treble clef a little better. All right, I think these are going to work. I'm going to clean off my desk here and put away the paint and take off my gloves and come back and let's make something. So I've got a couple of book pages here. I've got a page out of a songbook, and then this is a page out of the Layman's Bible Encyclopedia. And what I want to do is fold this up to where the text kind of meets, because I'm going to cut off this excess up here. basically what I'm going to do is take this part and I'll fold it over just a smidge past where the text is. So I have this piece like that. So we've got it, what I call hot dog style. I'm going to trim off a little bit of this paper because I don't need all of that. I'll need my paper trimmer. So what I'll do first is I'm going to take this piece that's folded out and fold it to the inside. And I'll go ahead and just put a bead of glue across here. That'll help keep that into place. I'm going to make a pocket out of this to go on a journal page. And by folding this over, it gives a little bit more strength to that paper so it won't rip when you go to put things in and out of it. All right, so now I've got that portion nice and neat. So I'll use my bone folder here and I will score on this side. And I'll just put some distress ink so I can see where that edge is. I don't need that much over here, so I'm going to cut off part of that. So I've got this piece, and then what I'll do is, using this folded edge as my guide, my pages are generally 8.5 by 11 sheets of paper folded in half, and that makes it 8.5 inches tall by 5.5 inches wide. So my pocket that I want to go on top of it, I want to be about 5.25 inches, so it's just a little bit shy of the whole page so it doesn't interfere with the binding of my journal. So I'm going to come over here to the edge and score this. And I will fold it on that score. And I'm just using my distress inking tool so I can see the line. You could use a pencil if you want. And then about 3/4 inch. And I will cut off the excess. So now I have this little piece here. Let's move this out of the way. I'll open this up. And this is going to go to the inside, but I don't need all of that. So what I'll do is get my little scissors here, and I'll cut off that portion. And I will cut this at an angle here, and then take this piece completely away. So now I have this little piece over here. So I've got this piece that will be tucked inside, and then this will become my pocket right here. And I'm going to show you what we're going to do with this side. But I think what I want to do first is add some color to this. Get rid of some of these scraps. Just getting my spray box out. And I think what I want to do is spray this. I'm going to use the kit color, Musical Botanica Botanica, and it has mica in it. It's a really pretty shade of a kind of a lavenderish pink, maybe not quite lilac. And remember that the Tattered Angels, this is my sample set. So when I order them for the kits, sometimes the color varies just a little bit because they make each batch when they place my order. So I'm going to come in here and just add some color so it's not just ivory. And then I'll use my heat tool to dry this. All right, so that's pretty dry. So now I'm going to grab a stencil. And this is from the Musical Botanica Kit. Yeah, I think that'll work. So I'm going to slide that over a little bit. Well, no, I don't want this one. I think I want this one instead. Okay, yes, that's what I want. I'm going to turn it at an angle just a little bit. And I'm going to lay this stencil over the top. And let's grab the blue, which is Dynamics, and spray that over. Just grabbing a book page to mop up that Tattered Angels. So it'll put a pretty pattern on that page. And then we've got a pattern over this page. It's real subtle, but it's there. All right, let's dry this. I want to add some distress inks to the edges. So I'm going to get my distress tool out. All right, that looks pretty good. All right, what I want to do next is I want to go to my sewing machine. I'm going to open out this flap, and I want to do a zigzag stitch. I'm going to do it across here and across the top and then down the side and across this way, basically going all the way around. All right, so I just have a regular sewing machine. I have it set up for zigzag stitch. I have black thread in the upper and the lower. The thing about sewing on paper is to make sure that the paper is dry, that you don't have any wet glue. That way you won't gum up your needle while you're sewing. And then just clean your sewing machine. So if you have even a really fancy sewing machine, just keep it clean and you'll be fine. I just use a regular needle. I don't ever change it unless I break a needle or it's bent. So I've been able to use it for a long time, but if you do start noticing that your stitches are skipping, then might as well change that needle. All right, so let's do some stitching here. I'm just going to stitch right across here. And then when I get to the end, I'm going to raise my presser foot and then rotate this around, leaving the needle down, kind of helps it hold in place, and then I'll continue stitching on. I want to go ahead and stitch on either side of where it's going to be folded at the bottom. It might help if I had thread in the machine. I love my self-threading machine. If you ever get a chance to buy a new machine, make sure it does the self-threading. Whenever I'm sewing on paper like this, I don't do back stitches because I'm not worried about it holding. If you're trying to make sure that it's going to stay together two separate pieces, then you might want to do a back stitch, but I don't usually do that. All right, so I've stitched all the way around on these pieces. So what I want to do next is glue this piece to make this little flap. And then I will glue this piece shut. Now I've got a music page here that I'm folding in half so that I have it 8.5 tall, 5.5 inches wide. And this is going to be a pocket that I glue onto this page, but it's going to flip out off the page. So whenever I put stuff inside here, it'll flip back and forth. Before I glue it completely down, I want to add some more embellishment. So I've got my little guitar here, but he needs a little help behind him. So I have a piece of Hymnal, and I think what I want to do is put him right about there. And I know I want to use this side, so I'm kind of looking at it to see. All right, I think if I tear this or cut it, there's a long skinny piece. I'm going to get my ruler. First, what I want to do is remove this edge. So I'm going to put my ruler right on the edge here. And then using my, I'll do it this way just so I can have a there. I'm going to come over just a smidge. Maybe I'll do it this way. It might be better. So I can see how far over I need to go. Right about there. And we'll tear off a little bit of, let's tear off the top and a little bit of the bottom. So now I've got this little piece that I want to put on top of this other piece here. Can you see what I got going on? And I'll save the little pieces for later on. We'll put this over to the side for a moment. Let's add something to make this a little bit thicker because it's really flimsy paper. I just realized my camera was way over here. Found another piece of book page. I don't think it's big enough to fold in half. So we'll just do one layer. So I'm going to decide which way do I like better. I think I'm going to glue this side down. So if you have really thin paper, just glue it to another piece. And we'll cut this out. And I think because you're going to see the back side on here, I'll cut this piece off. And let's find another piece of paper to put back there. So if that's going to go here, and you're going to see at least that portion, I wonder if I left enough that I could decorate from this side, and when I do, it would cover that back side up. So basically making another piece that would be attached to this side over here, which would cover that one up. That's my idea. That's my idea. Let's see what I can do here. All right. So I need this piece to be the same width, but not necessarily the same height. So let's do this first. Let's go here. I have this idea of what I wanted to do, but I had not made one yet. So you're seeing how I come together with the idea. And I'm thinking I'm going to need it to be a little bit longer, but not much. And then we need it to be the same width. I got to make it the same width. So if I do this, then it'll be the same width. And then we'll use this scrap and glue this together. Let's add some distress inks to this piece. All right, so my idea is I'm going to put this on here. Now, do I want to put it on this side? I think I do. And then when this flips over, this piece is going to go here, like that, on the back side, and we can add other embellishments below it. Does that make sense? All right, I think what I want to do now is go back to the sewing machine and stitch around these outside edges, just because I want it to kind of flow with the stitching that I've already done on the other elements. All right, so now I have these little elements that this one's going to go here, right side up. This is going to go over the top of that. And I have some other things I want to put on here, and that's going to go on the other side. So let's see what else we want to put right here. I'm thinking maybe a rubber stamp sentiment. So let me get out my rubber stamps. I've got a piece of cardstock scrap here, and I've got my rubber stamps. Let's see. Music is the shorthand of emotion. I think that will fit on here. So let's get that one. All right, this is a brand new stamp, and I always recommend on the first stamping that you stamp it off onto a scrap of paper. I've got some archival ink jet black, and I'll get a smooth surface here and just stamp this on here once. That looks pretty good. I don't have any edges that are showing up, so we're going to put that scrap back over here, and let's stamp it for real. Put that back on my carrier sheet. And let's stamp a different one that'll go on the other side. Music in the soul can be heard by the universe. So again, I'll stamp it onto a scrap. And if you do it correctly, you can use these scraps, but I'm not planning on using them today. And remember, when you're stamping, you just want even, firm pressure. You don't want to rock your stamp back and forth. Just go straight up and down. Okay, let's put those away. Get my paper cutter out. Some distress ink around the pages, or this piece. It is on white cardstock, so it's a little stark white. All right, so let's kind of figure out how we want to put this together. And I think what I want to do is this is going to be glued down here. This piece is going to go on here. But I think I want to add some more little elements to it. I cut this apart earlier. So this is one of my rubber stamped images that I watercolored. and I just cut it apart. So this is flax, I believe. And I just cut it apart, and I thought this would be kind of pretty to put it somewhat behind the guitar here. And then I have a package of butterfly stickers that I had in my stash. And I'm thinking now that this one is too big. I've got a smaller one because I don't want it to stick to the page behind. So I'm thinking maybe something smaller like that. All right, and then I had a little piece of this thread here that was left over from when I rethreaded my machine. And I was just kind of thinking maybe putting a little bundle of that back behind, just kind of a little nest. So let's glue this together. So I'm going to glue this as a unit. So I'll put a few dots of glue up here and then put that little wad of thread, and then I'm going to come in here and just put little dots of glue on the back side of this chipboard piece. So that's going to go here, and I'm not going to push it down all the way just yet so that I can put the flowers right behind. So basically I just kind of made a little cluster to start with. And then these butterflies, because I know that it's a sticker, I'm kind of thinking maybe instead of peeling, well, maybe I'll peel the backing off. I don't know. Let's see what happens. I always have to use an extra pair of glasses, and then I get a pen, and I'm probably not on camera doing this, but basically I take a pen and put it between the film, and then I can peel it free. And put my pen back where it belongs. Put my extra pair of glasses where they belong. And let's see how we can put this on here. Do we want to put it down lower? I'm going to put it down lower. And then just kind of smushing that into place. Now I don't know if I need to cut off this leaf or just move it over. I think we'll move it over just a smidge. And I'll glue this piece down right here and then glue this piece. I think we may glue it kind of as an additional little tuck spot there. So I'm going to put my fingers where I don't want glue, and we'll put glue right here across. And then glue this down. Make sure I don't have any glue here. We still have our pocket there. And then I'm going to glue this piece. I'm trying to decide if I want to add the little gussets to the side or only just have it as wide as where the opening of the, without the glue. So a 2-inch strip would fit in there. So let's just glue this. All right, so I'm going to flip this over and move this little tab out of the way. This piece is going to go here, and this piece is going to go up there. And I think I'm okay with, we could even overlap this just a little bit on here. And I've got another piece of this that I saved, so maybe we'll put it here. And I've got a larger butterfly, so maybe I can put it over that, like that. Oh, and let's look to see if I've got a little piece of thread. Oh, I didn't have any in black. I was looking to see if I had some in black, but I've got a little piece of some cheesecloth here in pink. So I'll just cut a little piece of that. And let's glue these pieces together. So I'll glue this piece down. And lay this cheesecloth here. And I think I'm going to kind of put this closer to the top. And then we'll glue this piece on top. Okay, I'm liking how that turned out. That's pretty cute. All right, and then this piece is going to go here. So I don't want glue past this area. So I'll line these up and glue this piece down here down. So now we have this two-sided little element. And if I put this piece down here, and maybe the butterfly can kind of go like that. I think that looks like, I look up at the camera sometimes to see how my placement looks to determine if I need to make a change of how it's laid out. But I think something like this will work. And we'll make this one another little pocket because it's almost 2 3/4 of an inch. So almost a 2-inch strip can fit in there. I have these little tickets that I think would look good in here. So let's put it right about there. My thinking for making this flip out pocket was we can still create some writing space behind, and then the flip out pocket wouldn't interfere with your writing. All right, so I'm going to use my stick pen again. Again, I just kind of put it between and then peel that away. Like my double set of glasses. What happens when you get old, ladies and gentlemen, if you do not have a pair of reading glasses in your craft room, and as you get older, you're going to find you're going to want some. And right now I have 3 extra pairs hanging. All right, so let's put it right about there. Okay, I like how that turned out. All right, so I want to glue this onto the page. And I will try to figure out how I want to do that. And I'm trying to decide if what I should do to the background here is I've got some, I've got these little tear off notepad papers that I think would look kind of good if we did a little collage here. I just redid all of these, reorganized it. I put them all in a little basket so that I could pull them out. And this isn't all of them, but this is what's right here on my desk. Pardon me. So let's look through here and see if there's something that kind of lends itself. We could use, I've got a guest check, although that's kind of plain looking. And what else do we have here? I've got this paper that is a little notepad. There's one piece left that we could put on the page instead. I know I have some pink here. Got this brighter pink. I kind of play around to see what would look good. That kind of looks kind of pretty. I've got these smaller ones. Let's see. If this is flipped over like this, maybe I can find something that would fit across here. I don't know that this one, let's see. Maybe something like that, and maybe put this one more in the middle. I don't know. I'm kind of thinking of something like that. I've got some more of these butterflies, and I think we could add some color to this outside edge. What do you think? We've got a little kind of a composition that we're putting together. It's okay to just kind of play around with it and figure out what you need. I've found another piece of music, so we could put that back there. I have a little piece of lace, but since we're doing the pink, I found this in my stash. What if we put just a little smidge of lace on here? And I made this piece earlier, so maybe we can put it something like that. So you kind of see my little composition that we're putting together here. All right, let's add some distress inks to these pieces. And I think we need to add some color to this page. I've got seedless preserves. So there's my blending tool. I'm grabbing a glove because I know my hand always gets a little dirty. And I think I'm just going to blend in from the edge a little bit. I didn't use this stencil earlier, but I think I want to use it now and add a little bit of pattern on this side. Oh, I think that looks really good. I'll clean my stencil later. Basically, I just take it to the sink and rinse it off. Okay, I like that. And then this piece is going to go over here. And then this piece is going to go back there. And then I think we'll add, I don't know, we may switch this. Let's see. I don't know. I think we need a little add of decoration around this piece. I've got the henna rose stamp. And I'm just going to stamp around the edge. I think I'm liking how this is starting to come together. All right, let's glue this piece down. So I'm just going to put glue on the little tab. Press this into place here where I want it. I think I want to put this lace. I don't know if I want it down the whole piece. You know, we'll cut it and we'll see if we like it. If we don't, I can always cut it off. Let's move that out of the way. So, do we want to move that over? And then this guy can go here. And then this piece is going to go down here. And you know what? I've got some more rubber stamped images. What if we chose a different color? Oh, I like that. Even though it's the same flower. Oh, I do have this one. This is the cone flowers. Let's do the cone flowers because that kind of sticks out better over that. Okay. I'm coming to my little idea here. Time to get a drink. I hope you're liking this, you know, just kind of showing you some basic things to put together. We'll have some writing space here, and then we'll put a journal card into this little pocket that'll flip back and forth. All right, so I'm going to get out my Fabri-Tac glue. And we're going to put just a little bead right down this edge here. I did add some acetone to my Fabri-Tac, but I don't think I added enough because it's not quite coming out yet. I think I needed to clean the nozzle a little bit. Okay, that's a lot better. Let's apply the glue or the lace and the glue. And I think I want to put this piece on after I put this piece down. So I'm going to put this one down first. And then we'll add this piece on top of here. And then this piece is going to go right up there. I don't know if I want it more grounded down here or up higher. So let's see. I think, grounded at the bottom. So put that down here. And then this would flip over. I think I'll add a little bit of distress ink to the back of the flower that's sticking out here. Looks good. All right, so let's put a journal card into the big pocket and then something into the smaller pocket. So let me see what I can find. I got out a few things. This is from the kit, Musical Botanica. It's a journal card that Norella put together, and I thought that would look really cute in the pocket here. And then in the kit, you also get a couple of pages of this piece of cardstock, which is 5 inches by 6 inches, and I thought we would add some distress inks to it, possibly stamp on it, and add some embellishments. I had some watercolor flowers that I made a while back. I was on a cruise and I took my watercolors with me, and I sat down and I just made lots of little flowers. And so I went into my little zipper bag and pulled out one of those. I also had some tickets. You get a set of tickets in the subscription box, and people always ask me, how do you use these? So I thought, well, let's see what we can do. And then I have this plain ticket that also comes in the subscription box. So first, I think I want to take this ticket and just glue it to this scrap of coffee dye paper. And I'm okay if it's not perfect, but it would cover up the inside and give you some writing space. So we have this little piece. I'll add some distress inks to the inside. I'll go ahead and fold it. And if you don't want the pieces there, I'm going to use my crocodile punch. Let's see if that worked. It may not work very well. There we go. Trying to line it up. Can't decide if I want to do the one there. I may leave it. I think I'm going to leave it. Just the outside edges. That looks better. I was thinking that this would look cute sticking inside here. So do I want to stamp on it? I think I will. I'll stamp this heart and then maybe use one of those stickers, the butterfly stickers that I was using earlier. I'll grab a different one. All right, so let's put this like kind of at an angle. So it's just a little embellishment on there. And then I've got these little butterfly stickers. Maybe this one. I think that'll look good. And it keeps it somewhat flat. You know, if you've followed me at any at all, you know that I don't really care to have super bulky things in my journals. I kind of like having a flat surface when I go to write. Okay, I have to put the glasses on. I think that looks kind of cute. And then on the inside, I saw, yes, I have this little treble clef. And I thought I would stamp that right here. And then this will go in that pocket. All right. And then we've got this piece. I've got the swirls and music. And my thought was, if I were to put this kind of coming out the top area, yeah, let's do it like that. There we go. And then I had this little piece that I thought would look good. But now I'm thinking maybe I won't put that on there. I'll just put this on here. And maybe I'll stick another butterfly. I was going to use this. I've changed my mind. I'm allowed to do that. And you are too. Oh, I know what else I could use instead. I picked up these stickers at the Dollar Tree. I'm thinking maybe this trumpet here. Maybe that would be a good one to stick on there. I could put it, well, I'm wishing now that I would have planned better and not put it so high up. Do I want to do it that way? How about if I do it this way? So it looks like it's coming out. Put this one back on here. And now let's find something that'll fit there. If you didn't know, I put all my things in little baskets on my desk, so I have all of these little pieces that I can kind of go through and see what would fit this project. Oh, I got a little dragonfly right there. And I've got these little flower stickers. Oh, and there's I got some fussy cut elements. So let's get all of that out. I know, I get everything out and look at it. Yeah, I'm thinking, I don't want that. I have this dragonfly. I have a rose. I think the rose works in this instance. Lots of little options there, so that'll be good. So it looks like it's coming out the top of, and then the music is coming over. I think that looks really good there. And do we want a sentiment? Let's do harmony. See if I can find that one. Rhythm, harmony. Yeah, I like it. So this piece is going to go here. Do I need to put something? You don't really see it, but I think maybe we can stamp on this corner. Let's use the henna rose to stamp the edge of this. So when we flip this over, we've got a different look on the other side. All right, so we're going to put this in here. Oh, that looks good because you got this nice little composition on this side. And then I was going to put this little ticket in here, but I'm kind of thinking he's too big. So maybe we'll find something a little bit smaller. I've got this, basically it's artist trading card size. So I'm going to get my foam folder. What if we were to put that? And that makes it a lot smaller. So that looks good. Now, is this too big? I think we can do that. As long as we don't go too far past. Let me look, see if there's a better one. This one's a little bit smaller, and I think I can get away with tearing it down. Oh, that looks better. Okay. Here's all my flowers that I made. All right, I think I like this. That's going to go right on there. And then this will go in the pocket. All right, that'll look good. I have these little words that I stamp out, and I'm thinking maybe that would look good right there. I made this little pocket holder and stamped different sayings and put those in here. And then I've got a little clear pouch that I store them in so I can find them when I want them. All right, so that's going to go right there. And I know this is only just one page, but I really was trying to concentrate on showing you how to use these chipboard pieces. And hopefully I've given you some ideas. I think I need to put a little glue right there on adding little embellishments, making a little flip over pocket. I like the way that looks, especially with the stamped behind there. So if we pull this one out, We have that area that you can write upon. Then you have this whole back side you can write on. You have this little piece that comes out and you can write in there. And then we flip this over. You've got writing space here. And then we've got this journal card. Again, with the writing space on both sides. And then we made this little bitty element that you can write upon as well. Well, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends, join me on my live streams. If you are watching this one, it was after November the 6th, so go back and see how I put this in a journal. Come back on November the 13th and the 20th. Those 2 Mondays are using some of the kit again. So I'll have the large journal kit, which has 2 journal sets in it, and then the planner kit is the last one that I'll be working on. If you have any questions, please feel free to use that comment box down below. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I greatly appreciate you supporting me by watching and sharing this video. All right, everybody, have an amazing day. We'll see you soon. Do something creative. Be kind out there, because you never know. A little kindness can go a long way, and it will just burn up this world in kindness. Thank you so much for watching. Bye, everybody.